Almost ready. Excuse me. To put all these puzzle pieces together. Basically, I would have had this up and running last night, but I was down to the last 3 rings. 3 Lord of the Rings. And we've got 3 rings minus the one up here. So I said, well, we'll just do it when we can get the parts in the morning. And right now, I'm just cleaning up whatever's on top of the hot water tank. Because we are going to be possibly, or very shortly, not possibly, installing and filling and hooking up this hot water tank exactly where it is. I gotta cut a hole for the toilet drain here, and it's not a toilet drain, but it's for this overflow, like to bleed the tank if you want to. So we gotta do that, and that's about kind of almost it. What else do we got? Crimpers. Just put all that there. Let's go back in the pouch. So we're gonna have to put this in a way where I wouldn't normally do it like this, but I gotta leave this sheet out, or leave it in but not glued down. Glue that one down, run the water, hook all the water up. That way I can check to see if there's any leaks, and if there isn't, then we can glue this one down after, and Bob's your uncle. So what we're gonna do right now is move the water tank, hopefully one last time, and remove all the sheets, insulate, secure everything where it needs to be, and then kind of go from there. That's the plan. Get some water in the house. My plumbing bucket can go over here. This sheet is going to have to come back. Same with this sheet. The sheet that the camera's on, just move slightly over and move that. That way. We're where we need to be. Now we can put this back here. Oh, look at all these emojis and thank you. I want to thank the fans, the subscribers, the likers, and the sharers of all the calamity that we've had to endure. I'm just trying to move this sheet that we've had to endure on this job. This job's been very interesting. That is for sure. Look at that. You're welcome. Hello. Hi. What's his name here? I can't really see. Oh man, I think I need my glasses. Bye. You're leaving so soon? Too bad. Too bad. You're just about to witness all the craziness. So now we can undo this. This is going to be our hookup with the shut off. Main water coming up, feeding the tank, and feeding the main line over there. So now, I guess we could roll the tank out of the way. Still some water in there. From the last time it was full. I guess that's what happens with a hot water tank. So now, I just got to drill that. We're gonna drill this guy here. Oh, let me set this over here, kind of out of the way. The hot water tank's blocking everyone's view. So we got to do something like that. So at least, what is saying this? What do you mean by this? So I got one of these for here. Basically, there's a spout on the hot water tank, and that's going to drain. So we'll be able to drain it. It'll just go down through the floor. Just going to make sure we have the right size drill bit. We've got a bunch of drill bits. Just vacuum it out of the way because you have to move it anyways. Here. So, at least this way, we have almost everything we need in one spot, so we can drill this opening. Let's get on the knee pads of life. Now, that'll be close enough. I didn't need all those, but I will possibly need it for that guy. That's a 2-inch though, that's too big. That shit. Yeah, it's perfect where it needs to go. Just need my tape measure. Let's center this. We should have Alright. There we are. And that's going to be able to go over that. And obviously move it so that the hot water tank is not in the way. I'm going to knock out this whole opening. I said it would just come out easy. I told him that looks really strong. He's like, oh no, don't worry, it'll break open, no problem. All I gotta do is smash it. That thing is solid. Try it again, I guess. Okay, that's not even. Try again. it wrong. Holy crap. He's like, all I gotta do is smash it in with a hammer. With what, a sledgehammer? Oh, there you go. And that thing took some beats. That's for sure. Alright, so we know this is going to go in there. We might as well just glue that in place. Yeah, I couldn't use the other one because it was already used. But I could probably take a cut off from it. I was going to plumb this into the existing line, but I didn't, because when I lift this sheet, there's another beam right here. So it would have made it harder to bring it into the existing line. And I said, you know what, screw it. How many times are you going to actually drain a hot water tank? The odds are pretty slim. So I figured this will just drain to the outside. And then we can avoid all the headache of having to hook everything up and whatnot. So that's all nice. Secured. I'm going to grab see, because originally when we came out, we actually came to fix the hot water tank a year or so ago, and I had put that in. I wanted to reuse it. But given the fact that everything was rotten, that's why there's so much missing. This actually used to be in the ground, and there's a dip tube on one side, and then the drain on the other. So the dip tube went down in here, and the drained to here, and it went to the outside of the trailer. Man. So, basically, what we're going to do, I think this is going to be long enough. Let's check. Oh yeah, perfect. So I drilled holes in the end of it because that's to prevent any like small animals to get in. But at least the water can drain out. So that was the whole point of that. Now to mark this plywood, there's another sheet of plywood under here. And I need to put this. I had drawn out a circle for everything to fit perfectly. And so this way the hot water tank can drain. And then we're going to direct the dip tube down through there too. So that way we don't have to make additional holes. I wonder if this guy, that guy will fit. I wonder, oh, you know what I can possibly do? I think I could put an extension. Will the extension fit? Then I should just be able to kind of drill a hole. Drill a hole. I actually might even just use those bits. Where's the other drill? There's another drill here somewhere. Fits all the stuff. Am I blind? Ow. Let me just grab the other drill. Alright, with my impact drill, I wonder if this has lots of juice left. Let's get 2 bars. 2 bars is good on the flex. So, what I'm thinking, that should fit. Oh, it fits perfect. It fits perfect. So that'll go through. We're gonna get that guy off. We want to polish some stuff we can. Can't undo. Oh, there we go. I guess you gotta pull it forward to undo. next. Can't use that. I need a pair of pliers for this guy. This is just so I can perfectly mark. I don't know if it's going to work. It's not going to work. But it will work as a guide. Oh, it worked. That actually worked out perfect because the drill bit this is the perfect size for the hole, so it's perfectly center right now. It's perfectly center to receive this. Reverse thread jack to receive this now. I'll show you guys basically what we're doing. Look at this. So now we have, as the creator said, let there be light, and there was light. And now that lines up perfectly. So now that that's good, just want to make sure that that should be long enough. Yep. Perfect. It's going to drain over the laundry pipe, but that's PVC anyway, so it doesn't matter. So that's all perfect and set up. And we can glue this in now. And we can screw this in after too, which is even better. Oh, lots of glue on that one. Perfect. And like I said, you always want to twist that in. See how that... See how when you twist it in, you get that nice bead of glue going all the way around, and now it's perfectly glued. Now, this is all good to go. All we gotta do is insulate the other one, the cavity below. And that's good to go. Alright, we're done drilling holes. So what I'll end up doing is putting the sheet down and then just what do you call it? Stuffing this down after the sheet's down through a hole that's in the insulation too. Did we build? We didn't build insulation stops for this one. I wonder if I can sacrifice one of those other pieces that I had already built over there for that. And I don't think we built insulation stops for the other one either. It's snowing outside. There was no snow yesterday, but there's snow today. Okay, that's all done. There we go. I can put this back on. I actually use this bit for cleaning the end of my glue guns. Yeah, it's too bad I couldn't reuse this. Some of it. I could probably reuse it somehow somewhere else, but pretty much done with that. I'm done with this. I got everything. I even got this pipe cut properly. It looks like it's a little bit long though. Yeah. I could cut it back and crimp it. And then make sure that it comes through this hole properly. That's the toilet water line. So I'll have to cap that. Once we hook up the water, I'm going to cap this, cap those two down there, and this one over here. Alright. So like I said, I use this to clean all the glue when it's not spinning. Okay. I use that to clean all the glue off. So that thing's ready to use when we gotta glue the floor down. I just gotta put it in front of the heater. Or I could actually just throw it in here. The heater's going now anyways. Keep that nice and warm. And then, alright, we're done with the ABS. We're done with the hole saw stuff. Inside, we're going to need to drill this toilet opening. And that's once we get this sheet back in place. To still put in the backing over here. So for now, I don't like how the phone wants to fall. Let's set this up over here where it's a little more stable. So this is what we're doing. Move that sheet back. Then this way, I can finish buttoning that up a little bit. Actually, what I'm going to do, move this sheet this way instead. Now I have a platform to work off of a little easier. There. There, because I gotta throw insulation and blocking in there. I'm gonna go grab a piece of wood. I think this is enough. So I don't need a whole lot. So we're gonna have to hold that there. That's the plumbing. I may have to cut this because I noticed that the water is sitting in this pipe. And it should drain better than that. Did it flow down, and when I put the drop, the pipe is coming back. It comes back. I may have to cut a notch. Look at the way the phone's sitting. Thank God the thing is there because it would have fallen over. Alright, so we're working on this plumbing right here. I have a piece of 2x6 here. I actually got a couple pieces. So the whole point of putting this in, this is going to go across here. And that's just to kind of stop this from sinking because there's a joint here. The joist was originally cut out, but we needed to leave it out anyways because where the plumbing is. I would normally not do something like that. I would always have a joist going through. If it were me, I would have just drilled a hole on the angle and ran the pipe through. That's what would have made the most sense in this situation, but it's not always about how much sense you can make. For some people, right? So this is going to go here. And why is this 2 1/4? What do we got there? Oh, we gotta cut it back. So let's just cut 2 strips. We'll go past a little lot. Put 26 inches out of this. So we go 26, and then 52. should be smack on. What I'm going to do (1 3/4). Let's go 1. I'm basically putting this strip in on the side here. So it goes underneath this and it'll hold up 1. And I think I can run my other 2x6 right here. And then that can hold up the pipe. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to have to rip this with a saw. I'm going to use a skill saw because it takes skill to use one. Baby Shark doesn't have enough food left. I guess what we're going to do was the 1.5 inches. Should be a little bit over 1.5 inches. I put notches in my guide here. Yeah, there's 1 3/4. I love flex saws, they're so good. Basically, what we're going to do, make a big mess inside. So there we have the distance between this little cap here and what do you call it? The 2x6 that we're trying to support. This is why I like flex. Everything's just right where you need it. There is no guessing. It's just there. So now this guy can go under that, will hold this right where it needs to be. It's going to be the support we need right where we need it. Perfect. I'm going to bring the staple gun in and I'm just going to make a line. We're going to make a line going across that. And then we'll glue this strip to here. That'll catch this one. And we'll staple the crap out of it. That way it doesn't move. Let me grab the stapler. Alright, got an air hose. That's tangled. All kinds of goodness. Staple gun! And extra staples, the glue's cooking in the thing there. I actually need some anyways. Oh, that's nice and warm. Ooh, that's hot. Oh, I should grab my hammer. I need my hammer. Some nail heads sticking out a little there. The glue's probably gonna come just fucking pouring out of this. Oh, what? Huh. The tip is a little glued. I gotta grab that. I gotta grab my cleaner. This should clean it, but you gotta watch you don't do this too often, you'll look, there's a little I need something to poke the end. Look at this. I don't know if the camera can focus. Trying not to spray glue with the camera, but right here, see how the tip goes in? There's a little layer of glue that's not allowing it to come out, so I'm going to grab a little screw or something. This should work. There we go. A little more. It ain't going nowhere now. I can just bring that up to the line that I made. Make sure this is good everywhere. Alright, everything's same distance as the 2x6, perfect, nice. So when I put it in, it's at the right height, can't drop, and I should be able to attach a clamp to that side of the plywood, and that'll take away any flexion that can happen. Now, we got some nails. Make sure it's nice and square. I wonder if I should just put one in for now. And then I can mark. Because I still gotta put insulation in here, and I don't want to put all this stuff in. I can always pull that nail after. Remove this. At least it's in position to where it needs to be. I can put a clamp on that. Pull the sheet. Set up all the clamps where it needs to go. We'll have to cut this pipe to lower this end. It's not draining exactly the way I like it. Because in the long run, this guy's sitting right there. somewhere there. And that water, for whatever reason, now it drained. Now it's still there. How is that possible? You can't get any more down the pipe. That's why I think, because this is already connected here, if I cut this end, I can drop it and then just leave that a little bit elevated, and we shouldn't have any issues with draining. This is a tub. You want it to drain nice, right? The other thing is we got this 2x6 for here, so we're gonna have to notch the 2x6 within that path. I leave the other one. I left the other one on that side. I cut two. Where's the other one? See, there's still some water that came back. Anyways. That. Mark. Pipe right there. So I know where I can clamp it. And then, thinking out loud, maybe I'll just make this a 2x4 instead of a 2x6. And I don't have so much to notch, because 2x6 is that much wider, so I'd have to notch the back side of it that much. But if it's a 2x4, I only have to notch this much, and it's going to give you the same amount of support. Or I just saw something I could do to hold this pipe in place. Say my 2x6 runs all the way to the next joist, which is somewhere here, right? I can actually notch the 2x6 back where I cut that and then move it over around this joist so that it's getting into contact with that pipe. And then that way I can put a clamp on that pipe and that doesn't move either. So when I go to put all the sheets down, everything's going to be right where I need it to be. I just might have to manipulate it a little bit. And we also got to make sure that this is in the exact position as to where I'm putting everything. Yeah. See, there's so much to think about before putting all. The rest of this is going to be simple. This is the most complicated section because we got pipes, we got drains, we got a hot water tank that's going to sit there, so it needs to be reinforced. That's why you got a triple beam on the outside, a double beam that goes underneath. Reinforce the floor here because it's really squishy here. And then once this brace is in place, then I'm just going to put an X here so I know where the 2x6 is when the sheet's down. And I can staple to that and glue to that. So everything's going to be nice and solid. But You have to go through all the steps before you get to the promised land here. You don't need that. You won't need that. Put that away. Throw that in there too. I gotta find this other piece of 2x6. Where did it go? That's not long enough, even if I wanted to just use a 2x4. You know, I bet you it's under the floor here. That piece of 2x6 we need. Let me just check that shit out. Let's see if it's where I think it is. Let's see. Oh, where could my 2x6 be? Oh, where can it be? Let's see. Is it under floor number 1? There it is. I knew it. Alright. We gotta do some magic here. We want this touching that pipe. So, mark the top of this joist so I know to notch it around that. I gotta go 1 inch. 1 inch. Those are my marks. So 1 inch right there. So 1 inch. I gotta go the other way. I could even just take out 1.5 inches. notch around. And let's say we bring this side down to a 2x4. Little notch here. And then we'll just do this. We'll cut that out. And then we'll mark everything. Let's grab the baby shark. One of the most satisfying parts of my job. It's just to make customized stuff. That will go in. It should notch around. I need a little bit more. One more blade. One more blade's worth. Look at that. Nice and perfect. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark that like that. That to that to that. And so, underneath, we're going to notch out that distance. And how we're going to transfer that to the bottom, just like that. Like that. And then you line up those marks. And you have the same one underneath. So how much do I gotta take out of this? I guess we're gonna find out. That's gotta go tight. That's gotta go like that. I leave 1.25 inches, I should be pretty good. Problem is this plywood wants to move while I'm doing this. So where's my drill at? Right here. We just so happen to have a screw that we're gonna just leave that right where it needs to be. Stop it from moving. That's good enough. And I can literally probably even just put something to wedge that temporarily. Are you gonna make my life easier, are you? Let's try this guy. To tell me exactly the height. Because I can mark this joist. And if I want it flush, I just have to come down to that measurement. So I gotta take 3/4 inch out of that pipe, out of the back of that 2x6. So 3/4 inch is right there. That leaves me with about 5/8, which is pretty good. Because once it's glued, it's not going to be that big of a deal. So let's set the saw up to our 3/4 inch. I wonder if we already have it set to that. Oh my god, it's so close. Well, we want to save as much wood as possible. There. Wrong side. We gotta do this side. I was like, is there gonna be enough juice? Just as I thought that, it all died. Let me grab another battery. See what we got in the comments here. Don't staple anything structural. Well, sir. It's not technically structural. But at the same time, you don't want to shoot nails through a piece of 1x2 because you'll split it. That's why I stapled it. And that was the other reason as to why I glued it too, because the glue is super crazy strong, and the staples won't split the wood. That's why I stapled the shit out of it. I didn't just throw in one. I threw in, how many did I throw in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And you know what? Because the viewer said it shouldn't be that way, we're going to staple a few more just to be sure. We don't need that in there anymore. It's not going anywhere. Ever. You could probably drive a car on that. Once that glue's dry, that ain't going anywhere. Alright. That's why I don't like Makita with their shitty batteries. I like the Saw. I can't stand their fucking batteries. That's why I ended up buying Flex. The only thing is this is a bit heavier. So, whatever. At least Flex works when I need it to and not just breaking down. The whole point of why I bought Flex was because you're getting a better tool and you're getting way more for your money. This whole story started with these damn batteries. I had 14 batteries, and out of the 14, there was only 6 that worked. Then it went down to 4. Now I'm down to 3. And I just tossed that one because I'm just so pissed with their shit. They should have a better quality product. Now I'm not gonna lie. Flex had an issue with their batteries where they leaked. But they replaced the batteries. They're like, here you go, sorry, our bad. Done. That's customer service. That's how you keep people around. Right? I ended up buying everything Flex because it's all good. Like, the impact is good. Everything I've used except for that saw has been Flex. That's the only thing I have that's that and a blower. A giant blower, because I was like, well, what's the point of getting rid of this? I spent $100 on the blower, making blow snow, but whatever it is, doesn't matter. Makita blows. It sucks. Right? Like, their tools break down. They're garbage. Like, that's the only good thing they have that I've used. I've used their screw guns, their drywall stuff, everything's broken. Right? I've had Flex since like 2022 or 3, and there's been nothing but good shit. Everything works fine. Like, I had one battery fail out of the 25 or 18 batteries that I have, and all I gotta do is send it in, they'll give me another one. And half the time they don't even want the other one. They just send you another one. But, long story short, Alright. And look, that was way smoother than that. The only thing I like about this is it's just a little bit lighter. Okay, this one's a bit heavier, this one's lighter. I like that the weight is on top of the saw. This one's at the back. But that would actually make this saw amazing. Imagine the handle. You're cutting from the top like that. That would make this pretty compact. Anyways, I love the Baby Shark. I absolutely love the saw. I hate their battery platform. Their battery platform is junk. And that's literally how I ended up buying a bunch of Flex tools. Because their junk is overpriced. Overpriced junk is what Makita is. It's literally just shitty friggin' tools. They, in Calgary, they had a store that fixes Makita stuff. And they ended up closing the store down and moving somewhere like to Edmonton or something like that. And maybe just they had so much shit breaking down. I don't know. All I know is that when Flex first came out, I was highly skeptical. I'm like, it's a drill. What's so big about a fancy? Oh, more power. I'm like, well, how much more power do I need? Until I started using their tools. Beautiful. And that guy. Basically be exactly where I need it. Look at that. It's beautiful. Beautiful. And then what I'll do is I'll put a piece of round all here, wrap it under and over, and that'll hold that pipe right where I need it. Exactly where I need it. So now we got that in place. I think what I might even do, because it looks like I have enough room, I'm just marking where the 2x6 is going to run, roughly. And then I might just put a piece of wood on the side to catch this pipe. What do you think it is? A 2x4? It looks like a 2x4. Oh, it's just so close, but so far. So close, but so far. Maybe we just do that. Cut it off there. Makita is garbage. You know what I should do? I should actually turn it around because there's a bunch of knots here. Why would I make my life harder? You know what else I can do? Is just give that much more support to this whole thing. There. smoothly and nicely. Well, all I'm going to need is that guy right there. And then I can actually screw that. Is that going to be in the way? No? You know what? I'll just move it all the way the fuck back. Yeah. This is what I'm going to do. Pull this out. And we're just going to screw that end in, and then I can tack that pipe to this once I pull the sheet up. But for now, I could use my flex nailer, because I wouldn't use a Makita nailer. Maybe I'll just shooty that down in place. Look at how well that works too. Beautiful. Do I need anything else other than that? And so that is going to be able to hold that pipe and that pipe in place when I go a little bit. I'm gonna sneak that in there. Get in there. Let's undo this. All lines up. Mark that pipe where that goes. And mark that pipe where that goes. All right. I think I can pull all this shit up now. And it should work like clockwork. I use the word should because nothing so far on this job has been in the ideal format. So now you'll get to see what this looks like when it's all pulled up. Oh, before I pull it up, I gotta make sure. These sheets line up. I wanna make sure everything is where it needs to be. Then we can turn the water on. Once this sheet is down and that pipe is clamped, alright, I'm going to give you this view for a minute or two. See what you guys, oh my god, getting hooked on shit. What are you doing? Who told you to get up? We're not going anywhere. Our mission is to get water flowing into the house. Look at how tight this is, eh? I'm actually just going to put a screw in this sheet. So we're perfect where we need to be. Right on the line. And then once we glue this down, we're able to pull this sheet out to make sure there's no leaks anywhere I've done any clamps. Just make sure all my lines are good. That line's good, that line's good. Alright. Everything is where it needs to be. Only thing I gotta double check is this toilet line. And that's because I think I made it a little bit long. And it looks looks like it is a little bit long. Literally hitting. I gotta cut it off. I guess I could put a look, I'm going to show you. See that blue line right there? It needs to come up there, but I'm about an inch too far over. So, set this back up here. And I'm going to move that line over enough just because I've made it too low. Well, I could cut it back. On this end and just pull the whole thing through because I don't want to put an extension in between. I'll have to use 2 rings. I just got to move the hot water tank a little bit, move this sheet back, and I should be able to I'm going to mark that there. And then whatever I have there I can take out over here. It would be easier to take it. Oh, well, maybe not because I have to clamp it in there. Yeah, I'll have to. Fuck. It's harder to clamp. I'll have to do it here. I have to put the extension in. Alright, whatever. It's easier if I lift the sheet of plywood up now. Alright. So now that we're here, I can kind of show you what's going on. I don't need this here anymore. We need to cut that other strip of wood. And more so, we need to insulate everything here. Yeah. And this is, honestly, this is literally why this job takes forever. Because look at how long I've been working on just this area alone. We haven't done anything else. This is going to be easy to insulate. Just put a piece of insulation in. Done. Right? This is a technicality here. So first, let's finish cutting all the pipes we need to cut. So right now, I gotta take let's see, we need the water to come up here. Here's where we gotta go. We gotta cut this where it makes our life easier for clamping. Yeah. So somewhere here is easy for clamping. So right now, I'm just going to actually cut where it made that pencil mark. And then we keep cutting this until it gets to where that mark is. Which I think that's going to be... Oh no, we got to cut more. Actually, that might be perfect. Now I just need... There we are. Some random... Why did I just do that? Just throw it back in the bag. There. Where are my rings? We got rings here somewhere. There we are. There's two for there. I need two more. I also need the caps. There are the caps. I like how they only give you 5, because they want you to buy more. You can always reuse them. I'm going to need a couple more for that end to cap it. So let's cap this one for now, because that's going to come up. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. That's the way it's... Almost screwed that up. I'm just going to mark where that cap ends. That way when I go to cut it off, I can be almost tight. What's in there? Throw that guy on there. That way when we charge the line, cap here. And that guy pressed on. All perfect like there. Perfect. Now you see why I did it above the hole. Everything just to make life a little easier. I can even put one of these to hold it in place. It's going to be interesting putting that in there. We might need to use, number one, a hammer, wherever that is. Where'd it go? It's pretty sure, oh, it's up there. Because it is underneath. It is underneath the 1x4. Get it started. There. That'll hold it in place. Perfect. That's done. This guy's gonna go there. There. This guy is gonna go right like that. Okay, we're gonna have to lift this sheet right after. I just wanted to make sure that that was tight to this sheet. That way we are exactly where we need this fucking thing to be. I'll pull these pieces of 2x6, insulate at least this side, then put them back down, nail them in place. But before doing that, I'm going to put that cleat in place. And that cleat needs to be 24 and a half. We had 26 last time. Now we're going to have 24. Four and a half. That's that cleat I'm gonna need. Cleat. Make sure we are exactly where we need to be. Now for probably the 20th time, we're going to move this sheet. And then we're going to insulate both sides of the floor. I should only do one. I can always fit the other one easily. The rest of this is just piping everywhere. It's going to be way easier to insulate it. Gotta insulate in here, and here, and in here. And then we can finally put this sheet down and put the hot water tank in place, and I never have to move it again. Ever! Unless something fucking retarded happens, who knows? You never know. There's always something retarded that could happen. Oh. Unscrew this. Reverse engineering on all kinds right here. All kinds. I always have to clean out the hole too. be honest, I can actually clean up a lot of this area. I don't need all this stuff in one place. Look at how many cuts was made on this sheet. It's just crazy. I just want you guys to see for a minute how many cuts was made on this sheet here. Look at this. We've been doing this for like 2 hours now. Look, we got a hole there, 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 another one down there, another one there, and another one there. All that had to be planned out before putting it down. Then we had to do all this piping, that toilet water supply, and that drain, all before putting it down. Are you getting what I'm putting down? Anyways, yeah, that's why some clients won't get it. There's no money to do the job, but they also want it done fast. Well, because I could have hired somebody to do this, and maybe a few people would be in and out. But this is taking way longer because of that factor. Anyways, yeah. So I'm just going to take a break. I'm going to move all these sheets out of the way. You probably don't want to watch me vacuum. And I'm going to end the live and then return, and I'm going to call it, Are You Getting What I'm Putting Down? That's going to be the next live. So thanks for watching, and until next time, stay authentic, baby. Thank you for everyone who's been liking, subscribing, sharing, and commenting. You know, thank you for all that. You guys have a great day. I'll talk to you in a little bit.